All right, what is going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the one and only Wrestling Otaku channel. Of course, your personification of excellence on YouTube and YWC, and we're the best reviews wrestling, and your three-time YWC channel of the year. And I'm back here. It is officially Tuesday night here, Tuesday, December the 2nd of 2025. So yes, we are here in the final month of 2025, and boy, has this year gone by quick. Holy shit. We are just, a little over 3 weeks. Of course, 3 weeks from Thursday, which is in a couple days. So we're a little over 3 weeks away from Christmas. Christmas time. Christmas time is here. It is a jolly old time. The holiday season is in full swing, coming off the heels of Thanksgiving and all that. And so right after that, we will have the first of the year, 2026, rolling in here. So we are counting down the days in the final month of 2025. So, it's always around this time that I, get nostalgic and think about all the times, as a kid, growing up, loving Christmas and this time of year and stuff like that. It's just, things like that I just think about. But hope you all have been having a good one so far. Hope you all had a good weekend and all that kind of stuff coming off of Thanksgiving. Mine was pretty fun. But yeah, so wanted to go ahead and do some more content here on the channel. Hope you guys have been enjoying the short videos and the videos that I have been posting. And I'm going to try to get back to doing some more regular content, as you see with this video. And of course, tomorrow night, of course, is Wednesday. And you know what that means, AEW Dynamite. And I have a day off work. So yes, I will get to watch AEW Dynamite in its entirety tomorrow. So I'll have a day off to just enjoy myself, relax, and all that kind of stuff. I got off of work a little while ago, actually, so that's why I'm mentioning it. But anyway, so with that being said, without further ado, let's just get into this video already. So here tonight, I'm here to talk about some news, some breaking news. Just found out about this earlier today, and I was waiting until I got off to make a video about it and talk about it, because this is a pretty big deal, something that I've wanted to talk about for a while. And it pertains to another wrestling promotion, that being Total Nonstop Action, of course, TNA Wrestling. So we have heard throughout the year that TNA was in the works, that was in talks with certain networks, like we didn't really necessarily know who. But of course, they got this active partnership with WWE, and the word or the rumors was that WWE, through this partnership, was helping TNA to kind of work a deal with one of WWE's partner networks, or so on and so forth. Where they were basically aiding TNA in negotiating a TV deal with a network. So, and again, at the time, we've been hearing this for several months now, since early this year, since the spring, summer months. And we never really knew what the details were, or what networks they were negotiating with, or if there even was a deal down the pike, or in the works, or whatever. Well, now finally we have some clarity. Finally, we have confirmation, because it came out earlier today, as of earlier today, and it was confirmed by multiple sources. And I saw this myself via several reports that I've seen on several wrestling news sites I frequent. TNA TNA, I should say, has gotten a new TV deal, and they will be moving to a new network very soon. So TNA Impact Wrestling has, TNA Impact, or I should say TNA Wrestling. Well, they're Impact, but the show is called Impact. But their TNA Wrestling has signed a multi-year deal, or has basically worked a multi-year deal with the AMC networks, and they will be moving, and they will officially be airing on the AMC channel starting in January 2026, which is about a month or so from now. And so the official date is January 15th of 2026, to be exact. Impact Wrestling, TNA, will officially be making the move to AMC channel come January of 2026, January 15th. And I did check the calendar, and January 15th is on a Thursday. And they will remain Thursday Night Impact. That's what the show is basically called. But it's Impact, but they add the tag of Thursday night because it's on Thursday night. So Impact Wrestling will remain on Thursday nights, as they have been airing throughout the last several years, being on Access TV. Now, what this says... What this basically reveals is that TNA will not be moving to Wednesdays. They will not be going head to head with AEW Dynamite, as per the rumors, were stating, because again, they have this whole partnership with WWE and shit, and WWE, I guess, was trying to egg them on into, going head to head with AEW to try to hurt AEW in some way. Because that's fucking WWE's MO. They just have to do anything and everything they can to fucking try to throw shade at AEW. Or try to fucking harm AEW any way they can. But no, TNA will not be moving to Wednesdays, and they will not be going head-to-head with AEW or Dynamite, which good on them, because quite frankly, they would have gotten demolished in the fucking ratings. Let's just be honest. In the viewership numbers. Let's just be honest. But yeah. So that's the news. TNA Wrestling has signed a multi-year TV deal with the AMC networks, and will be moving to the AMC channel come January 15th, 2026. So this is a big deal. Big deal. This is a major upgrade for TNA for a lot of reasons. And I believe they stated that this multi-year deal is worth around the ballpark of $30 million, something like that, which doesn't sound like a big number, but I mean, with TNA as kind of, in terms of their current deal, with Access TV, and then, they were on other smaller obscure networks like Pop TV and Pursuit and, all that. AMC is a fairly decent upgrade, in terms of like a network, in terms of like a television network. It's a fairly significant upgrade. And I just checked my cable provider. I just checked my channel. I just checked the TV guide. And I do indeed have the AMC channel. So, yours truly will finally have the opportunity to watch TNA Impact Wrestling once again on a regular basis. If some of you may remember, I did have Access TV, but then my current cable provider basically cut ties with them, or basically, what the hell? My current cable provider, Verizon, they basically cut ties with Access TV, or they no longer had Access TV as part of the channel package or whatever. So I wasn't able to. I no longer had Access TV, on my cable provider. So therefore, I couldn't watch Impact Wrestling on a weekly basis, unless if I went to some website that airs it, or archives it or whatever. But basically, ever since then, I haven't really got the chance to watch Impact Wrestling or TNA on a regular basis. Just every now and then when I could, I will check in. But now that they're moving in January to AMC, I'll get the chance to watch them on a regular basis again. So this is good news. It gives me something else to watch on Thursdays. When there's, of course, when it's not football season. But then again, I never watched I don't watch a whole lot of Thursday night football anyway, because Thursday night football's now on Amazon Prime, which I don't have Amazon Prime. But actually, you can watch the games on their Twitch channel, believe it or not, and you don't have to pay anything. So little tidbit there. But anyway, so yeah, it gives me something to watch on Thursdays, and I'll be able to keep up with TNA, TNA Impact Wrestling. Now, there's another facet to this as well that I basically came across when I read this report. Due to this deal that TNA will be having, or signing rather, this multi-year TV deal with AMC, the AMC networks, TNA will apparently no longer be in a partnership with WWE, or at least NXT. And it basically stated that the TNA NXT partnership will be basically terminated. I'm not sure of the details. I didn't read too much into it. I should, check it again. Maybe give a follow up down the road. But I'm pretty sure that I read that as a result of TNA signing this deal with the AMC networks, their partnership with WWE and NXT will basically be ended. And again, I think that's a good thing, because let's just be real. This TNA partnership with WWE, it wasn't doing them any favors. Them loaning or lending talent to NXT wasn't doing them any favors, because these guys, these talents, these active wrestlers for TNA were basically nothing more than enhancement talents, more or less. They're basically used as a way to prop up, or to basically put over the top NXT talents. They're basically used to put over WWE's developmental. I mean, that's basically what NXT is. That people say it all the time. Well, NXT is developmental. Well, that's basically what TNA was doing. They were basically jobbing out. They're basically having guys go over there and do the job for developmental, pretty much. Developmental talents. You had TNA wrestler, you had TNA titles being held by NXT talents, be it Trick Williams or JC Jane or whoever. You know, Trick Williams was the TNA champion for however many months. You know, JC Jane, I think, is still the women's champion. She was the TNA Knockouts champion for however long. And it's like the partnership really didn't do TNA any favors. All they really did was bolster up NXT's talents, which didn't benefit TNA at all. Like, it really didn't. It did not benefit TNA one bit. And the fact that after, TNA signs this deal, or, TNA moves to AMC, they will no longer be in partnerships with WWE or NXT. That is, to me, is a good thing. That, to me, is a good thing for TNA because they need to stand on their own. They want to get their foot in the door. They want to reestablish themselves as a major player in terms of the pro wrestling landscape in the States. This is the way to do it. Not to be a footstool for WWE and NXT. You know what I mean? So, yeah, that's pretty much the basis of it. That's the big news. TNA's TV deal has officially been announced. They are indeed going to be moving to a new network. They will move to AMC in January of 2026, January 15th, which, again, is on a Thursday. So I'll be looking forward to it. I'll be looking forward to seeing what all they do, what kind of show they're going to have. And apparently it's going to be airing at 9 p.m. Eastern, or I believe they said 9 p.m. So they're going to be moving from 8 to 9. So I guess they're going to air from 9 to 11 on Thursdays. So, hey, that's cool, It doesn't matter. It doesn't really matter to me. At least, I'll get the chance to watch it. So it gives me another opportunity to catch up and, stay frequent with TNA, with Impact Wrestling. So it's nothing but good for me. Like I said, it's more content, more opportunities, another wrestling promotion to follow, and refollow, I should say, or follow, because I used to be pretty big on TNA. Like, I used to do TNA reviews on here or on the old Wrestling Otaku channel, and I used to follow TNA closely for a long time up until they started bouncing from network to network, and then eventually I couldn't follow them anymore. But yeah, so this is good to me. This is really good. This is a good thing for TNA going forward. I think it's going to be a very, very big move and a good move for TNA going forward. So yeah, we'll see what happens, dude. We'll see what happens. But yeah, so that's pretty much it. That is the news, the big news of the day. TNA will be moving to AMC, and Impact Wrestling will be airing on AMC come 2026. So I'm looking forward to it. Of course, I'm still going to be on AEW. I'm on the AEW hype train. For the long run, for the long haul, that's not going to change. But now I get the chance to follow TNA, another promotion, because I don't stick, my thing has been, I don't stick with just one promotion. Like, AEW to me right now is the top, to me is the best, quality-wise. I do think AEW right now is the best wrestling promotion, that I follow. But that doesn't mean that I'm going to just watch solely AEW. I can watch TNA, watch whatever wrestling promotion I get the chance to watch. Maybe on occasion WWE, of course they kind of suck right now, but yeah, back in the day I used to watch Ring of Honor. Well, of course now, Tony Khan owns, Tony Khan and AEW own Ring of Honor, so it's kind of that. I used to watch Lucha Underground, I used to watch New Japan when I could, and, and so on and so forth. So yeah, this is to me, this is nothing but good, and I personally can't wait to see how I'm sure they're going to have maybe they'll get a new look, new logo, new design, new ring set, new entrance, all that. We'll see what happens. We'll see what they do for this big premiere on AMC, Impact Wrestling, January 15th, 2026. Looking forward to it. But anyway, that's going to be my thoughts. That's my kind of take on the whole thing. So yeah, so that's pretty much going to do it for that. So now we'll conclude this video here. So thank you guys for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, be sure to hit that like button. Leave a comment. Give me your thoughts on this news, on TNA moving to a new network, a new station, new channel. What do you think? For those of you who do follow TNA, who still watch it to this point, let me know what you think. Give me your thoughts in the comments. Hit me up. Let me know. And be sure to subscribe to the channel, of course, if you haven't already. Appreciate all the support you can get. We're very close to hitting 1,100 or 1,100 subscribers here on the channel. So if you keep it up, man. Keep it up. Keep subscribing. Keep liking the videos. Share the channel and all that kind of stuff. And it is greatly appreciated. Trust me. And if there are any more developments, if there's any other information in regards to this TV deal, this whole TNA TV deal with AMC. In the future, I will go ahead and do a follow-up video at some point, but that was the main point of this video was to react to that news. But anyway, that's pretty much going to do it for this. So once again, thank you all for watching. Have a good rest of your night. I will see you guys in the next video, and I got some more content coming, trust me, in the coming days, in the coming weeks. There's quite a few things that I wanted to talk about, and you'll be seeing that here on the channel with, whenever I whenever I get the chance to, whenever I get the chance to make more videos, whatever have you, which will be very soon. But anyway, that's all I got to say for now. Until next time, Rest in Otaku, I'm out. See you guys later. Peace.